Hello students, Neeta Choksi here. This video is for Standard 9 from your book Movements, first chapter The Lost Child by Mulk Raj Anand. Okay, now see children, in this chapter, The Lost Child, it is the story of a small child who gets lost in a fair. He had gone with his parents to the fair, but loses them when he was busy looking at different colorful toys and sweets which were displayed in the fair. The story highlights the bond of love and affection that the child shares with his parents. When he was with his parents, he went on demanding for different things like sweets, balloons, flowers, swings, etc. But when the child loses his parents in fair, he no longer wanted the things he demanded for previously. He only wanted the thing was his parents back at any cost. Okay, now starting the chapter, first paragraph. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged. Alleys means narrow street. A gaily clad humanity. Gaily clad humanity means a group of people who were dressed with colorful clothes. Some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. Brimming means overjoyed or happy. Now see children, it was the time of spring festival. There was great excitement in the whole of atmosphere. The people, they could be seen busy going to fair, all in a very happy mood. The group of the people, they were dressed in attractive or brightly colored clothes. Some rode on horses, others sat being carried in bamboo or bullock cart. Now there was a small boy who was also heading towards fair with his parents, and this little child, he was very happy and excited. "Come, child, come," called his parents as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way. Now, the parents, they gave a call to their child that as he was leaving behind, he was not able to walk as fast as his parents, and as he was attracted towards the colorful toys, and so he stopped there to watch it. And so his parents, they gave him a call and to walk fast with them. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call, his eyes still lingering on the receding toys. That means his eyes were still lingering, means he was staring on the receding. Receding means the toys which were moving here due to the wind. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. That means the boy, he was tempted on seeing, he was attracted to the colorful toys, and he was constantly looking on the colorful toys on the shop, and he could not stop himself from staring the toys, but he knew that he would not, if he demanded for the toys, he would not be able to get it from his parents. Why? Because he knew that his parents will refuse it. "I want that toy," he pleaded. Then too, what he did, he requested his parents that he wanted the toy. His father looked at him red-eyed. That means red-eyed means angrily, in his familiar tyrant's way. That means angrily. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender, and giving him her finger to hold, said, "Look, child, what is before you?" Now see children, now his mother, the child's mother, she became emotional as due to the cheerful mood, and to divert his child's mind, she showed him the mustard field, which was full of natural beauty. She wanted to distract the child's attention. And so she showed a mustard field which was full of natural beauty. It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. That means the whole of the field, it looked as gold. The whole of the color, it looked as shining. Because of the sun rays, the whole of the field was shining like a gold. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. That means a group of dragonflies, a butterfly, a black bee, they all were seen in the sky who were moving, wandering in the fields. Why? Because they wanted to suck sweet juice from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it. The child, he was playing with these insects. He was trying to catch them and stare them, moving here and there. But it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air. What? The insects, or the dragonfly, butterfly, and the black bees. When he had almost caught it in his hand, then his mother gave a cautionary call. Come, child, come on to the footpath. That means as soon as he caught one of the butterfly or maybe the dragonfly, what happened? His mother gave him a call to follow them. He ran towards his parents gaily. Gaily means happily, and walked abreast of them. Abreast means side by side. He was walking side by side with his parents for a while, being however soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. That means he still kept on watching the little insects and worms which were moving on the footpath also. Why? Because they wanted to enjoy the sunshine. And the little child, he enjoyed watching these insects. Come, child, come, his parents called from the shade of a grove. When they had seated themselves on the edge of a well, he ran towards them. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove. That means as soon as the child, he entered a big tree. When he was standing under a big tree, what happened? A shower of young flowers fell upon the child. That means many flowers, it fell on the child. And forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hand. So what he did, as there was a shower of flowers, he became overjoyed and happy on looking this shower, and he wanted to hold all the flowers in his hand. But lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents, shouting, "The dove, the dove." That means as he was gathering flowers in his hand, suddenly the doves came over there, pigeon. The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands, and he was not able to hold the flowers in his hand. So he threw all the flowers, the raining flowers or the shower of flowers from his hand, and ran towards his parents. Why? Because he was afraid of the doves which came suddenly. Come, child, come, they called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow, winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. That means, see, children, they again called their child, and the child, he went running and jumping through the banyan trees, far from the banyan trees. Wild capers mean to run or jump in excitement. And gathering him up, they took the narrow, that means after taking or holding his child's hand, the parents, they headed towards the narrow winding footpath. Narrow winding footpath means road with a twist and turns, which led to the fair through the mustard field. Maybe it must be a shortcut to the fair from the mustard field. As they neared the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs. Throngs mean crowd of people converging to the whirlpool of the fair. That means they were trying to reach to the center of the fair. Whirlpool here means center of the fair. And felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. That means as the crowd, they were pushing very hurriedly, and the crowd they all wanted to reach the center of the fair, but because of too much of crowd, they were being pushed by many people. A sweetmeat seller hawked gulab jamun, rasgulla, burfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and a crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets decorated with leaves of silver and gold. The child stared open-eyed, and his mouth watered for the burfi that was his favorite sweet. Now he got as soon as he saw a hawker who was selling all the sweet dishes, his mouth started watering, and he wanted to buy his favorite sweet, that was burfi. He slowly murmured, but he half knew as he begged that his plea would not be heeded. That means he knew that his request would not be listened. Heeded means listened by his parents, because his parents would say that he was greedy. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. So he did not wait for his parents to answer, and he continued to move further. A flower seller hawked a garland of gulmohar, a garland of gulmohar. That means now who was seen? A flower seller hawker. He was selling different kinds of flowers, garlands, bouquets, and many other beautiful and attractive flowers. The child seemed irresistibly drawn. Now, seeing this beautiful and colorful flowers, he was not able to resist himself. He wanted to buy these flowers. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped and half murmured. Again, what he said? I want that garland. He wanted the garland of the flowers, but again he well knew his parents would refuse to buy him those flowers because they would say that they were cheap. That means the flowers, there was no use of buying flowers and they were cheap. And so without waiting for an answer, he again started moving further. A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green and purple balloons flying from it. Now, as they moved forward, what they saw? They saw a balloon man. Now, here this child was greatly attracted or tempted towards this. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory of their silken colors. Why rainbow glory? It is written because as the balloons, they were of different attractive colors. He was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them also. Now, as it was looking very colorful and attractive, and as we know, children, that all small children, they like balloon, and always they will try to take this balloon, or they will try to ask for balloons from the parents. The child but he knew well his parents would never buy him the balloons because they would say that he was too old to play with such toys. Now here also this child, he knew that if he demanded for balloons again, his parents would deny. Why? Because he would say that he was too big to play with balloons. And so, without requesting, he started moving further. Now, after Balloon Man, who came? He saw a snake charmer who stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket, its head raised in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan, while the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. So he liked listening. This little child, he wanted to listen to the music played by the snake charmer. He wanted to stay there for a while. The child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. That means the child knew that his parents would not allow him to hear such a coarse music. That means bad music. The parents, they believed that the music which the snake charmer played, it was not good to listen. And so, without arguing, the child here also started moving forward. There was a roundabout in a full swing. Now what came? The main attraction of the fair, the merry-go-round, which we call chakdor in Gujarati. Men, women and children carried away in a whirling motion, in round motion, shrieked and cried with dizzy laughter. So they were shouting and crying loudly as the merry-go-round, it went in a fast movement, in a circular motion. The child watched them intently and then he made a bold request. Now over here, the child, he decided, he make a great decision in his mind that this is the most wanted thing. This is the thing which I want the most. Now I am not going to move forward without enjoying this ride. So he made a bold request. He said loudly that I want to go on the roundabout. Please, father, mother. There was no reply. So when he demanded, he did not get any reply in return. So he turned to look at his parents. They were not there ahead of him. He turned to look on either side. They were not there. He looked behind. There was no sign of them. That means his parents were not anywhere near him. A full deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in real fear, "Mother, father." That means now he was very frightened as he could not find his parents. So he started crying loudly. Tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. That means he was frightened, panic-stricken. He got afraid. Panic means he got afraid. He ran to one side first, then to the other. That means he started running here and there without thinking as he was afraid. Hither and thither. Hither and thither means here and there, in all direction, knowing not where to go. Mother, father, he wailed. Again he started shouting for his parents. His yellow turban came untied and his clothes became muddy. Why? Because he was running here and there and shouting for his parents. He did not know where to find his parents. He was lost in the fair. Having to run to and fro in a rage of running for a while, he stood defeated, his cries suppressed into sobs. That means he was crying very loudly, then he started sobbing. At little distance on the green grass, he could see through his filmy eyes. See, filmy eyes means it is a thin white layer which comes in front of your eye after crying too much. Filmy eyes, men and women talking. What he saw? He saw many men and women, they were talking. He tried to look intently, eagerly among the patches of the bright yellow clothes. But there was no sign of his father and mother among these people, who seemed to laugh and talk just for the sake of laughing and talking. That means there were a group of people who were laughing and talking, but among this group he could not find his parents. Next paragraph, he ran quickly. See children, this paragraph, this is very important. In this paragraph, the boy's anxiety and insecurity have been described. So you all have to listen it carefully. He ran quickly again, this time to a shrine. Shrine means holy place, temple, to which people seemed to be crowding, where the people, a huge crowd of people was gathered. Every little inch of space here was congested with men. That means here there was too much of crowd. But he ran through people's leg, his little sob lingering, mother, father. That means there was no space for him to move, but he was moving from between the people's leg, shouting for his parents. Near the entrance to the temple, however, the crowd became very thick. Men jostled each other. That means the people, they were pushing each other. Heavy men with flashing murderous eyes. Murderous eyes means they were angry. The people, they were very angry and wanted to get out from the crowd, and so they were pushing each other. And hefty shoulders. Hefty shoulders means there were many people with strong physique, and so they were pushing very hardly. The poor child struggled to thrust a way between their feet. Thrust means to make a way between their feet, but knocked to and fro by their brutal movements. But he was knocked away by the big people because of their violent movement, because of their violent ways of pushing each other. Brutal means violent. He might have been trampled underfoot had he not shrieked at the highest pitch of his voice, "Father, mother." Again he shouted at the highest peak of his voice. A man in the surging crowd heard his cry, and stooping with great difficulty lifted him up in his arm. So a man who was alone, when he saw this little boy shouting for his parents, he immediately came to him and he lifted him up in his arms. Next paragraph. How did you get here, child? Whose baby are you? The man asked as he steered clear of the mass. That means that man, he started inquiring about the child, that where are your parents and how did you come across this thing. The child wept more bitterly than ever now and only cried. The child was not able to answer or hear any of the question. Instead of that, he was constantly crying loudly and shouting that he wanted his father and mother back. Now the man tried to soothe him by taking him to the roundabout. That means the man, he wanted to calm this child down. He wanted to stop this child from crying, and so what he did, he took him to roundabout. That means to the merry-go-round, and he wanted to have a ride in that. Will you have a ride on the horse? He gently asked as he approached the ring. The child's throat tore into 1,000 shrill sobs, and he only shouted, "I want my mother, I want my father." Now see children, this was the greatest demand of the child. He wanted to, previously when his parents was with him, he wanted to sit in this merry-go-round. He wanted to enjoy this ride, but now as he was lost, now he didn't wanted any of the material things. The only thing he wanted was to get back to his parents. The man headed towards the place where the snake charmer still played on the flute to the swaying cobra. Then he took the child to a snake charmer, thinking that he would stop crying. Listen to that nice music, child, he pleaded. The man, he requested this child that please listen to this nice music. But the child shut his ears with his finger and shouted his double-pitched strain. That means he started shouting and crying more loudly. Double-pitched strain means to cry or shout more loudly. I want my mother, I want my father. So he was stuck to one thing only. Now he did not urge for any of the thing. The man took him near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloons would distract the child's attention and quieten him. Then, what was the next thing the man did? He took the child to Balloon Man, thinking that each and every child likes balloon, and so he would stop crying looking to the colorful balloons. Would you like a rainbow-colored balloon? He persuasively asked him. That means he was trying to tempt the small child. The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons and just sobbed. Here also he was not able to concentrate on the colorful balloons. He did not like even the colorful balloons which he wanted previously, which he demanded previously from his parents. I want my mother, I want my father. The same recording was going on, that he only wanted his father and mother. The man, still trying to make the child happy, bore him to the gate where the flower seller sat. Now the last thing was, it was not the last thing, but the next thing was the man, he took the child to a flower seller and asked whether he would like to take garland and put it around his neck. The child turned his nose away from the basket and retreated his sob. That means retreated means he started crying again. What? I want my mother, I want my father. Thinking to be humor here means to be happy. The man, he wanted the child to be happy. His disconsolate means to be very unhappy or sad. Charged by a gift of sweet. Charge here means, children, as this child was lost in the fair and that man was holding that child. So at this particular time he was in charge of this little child. So he wanted to present a gift before a child which would make him happy. The man took him to the counter of the sweet shop. So what he did at last he took him to the sweet shop, thinking that the child would like to eat sweets. What sweets would you like, child? He asked. The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only sobbed. I want my father, I want my mother. Now, this was the very last thing the man could help with the child stop from crying. But this thing also didn't work. The child was not at all tempted or attracted to a single thing which he desired previously. And he kept on crying unless and until he found his parents. Now see, children, in this story the end is not given, but according to me, the child, in the end he met his parents either on reception of the fair or any of the spot, and he was reunited with his parents. This thing we have to assume our own self. This is the end of the chapter. Now see, children, this story, it was totally based on child psychology. A child who is attracted by material things, what is around him, he always remains tempted with the material things. All the children, they are wanting or making a desire for material things. But when they are around their parents. But if they had to make a choice between their parents and material things, then obviously, according to me, the child will go for parents only, denying the material things. So every child who are always demanding for material things, they should also value their parents. Okay children, this is the end of the chapter.